Quant, Jasmy, most underrated cryptos, and there's a huge reason you're seeing big pumps in other cryptos, but not really in these tokens. So if you want to find out why that is, and still understand why these are 3 of my favorite picks in crypto going forward, well, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get into today's video. So guys, in my free Telegram group, which is linked down below in the description, we'd love to have you in there if you want to learn more about crypto. I see people talking all the time about Quant, Jasmy, ICP, but most of the time I see people talking about things like GALA, things like Hello token. And I hold these particular coins, and I do think they will have good bull markets, but right now they're seeing far more upside action than you're getting from the likes of ICP, Jasmy, and Quant. And there's a very, very good reason to this, and I'll tell you slightly later on what that is. But first of all, let's dive in and understand a little bit more about Quant. Now, Quant is a software that enables interoperability across different chains. It's already been identified across financial services as something that is essential for the future of tokenized banking, which is something that we've heard Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, who have $8 trillion under management. Quant describes itself as the foundation of a blockchain economy, where everything is run through a blockchain. We're not just talking of finances, we're talking hospitals, healthcare, schools, everything you could possibly think of moving onto a blockchain, and you need something like Quant to be able to do it. But the problem with Quant is actually that it's quite difficult to understand as a project. Most people right now in crypto, most people arriving in crypto right now don't know a huge amount about crypto and don't really want to go and learn much about crypto because it can be a bit boring, it can be a bit technical and difficult to understand. So when we talk about tokens like GALA, it's very, very easy to understand what GALA does and how it's going to do well in the next bull market. GALA is a suite of different games. Every time it launches games, more people play. When the people playing the games, they're using the GALA tokens in order to be able to play the games. The more people playing the games, the more the value of GALA goes up. Hello is another one, which is TVFi. Basically, again, it does also have games on its platform. It also has events, TV shows, and much, much more. You, me, we both watch TV. We understand that people like to play. We both understand that lots of people like to watch Netflix. It's easy to understand how TVFi works and how it's probably going to be successful in the next bull market. And right now, this is causing coins like GALA and Hello to gain a lot of momentum because it's easy for people to explain to you what they do, and it's easy for you to understand what they do. And look at the websites. Sexy, exciting, brightly colored. And I don't want to talk down to you guys. This is just how people are. If something's very easy to understand, is very attractive looking and whatever, then it's much easier for us to feel confident about investing in something like that. Now, I do think that these projects are going to see a good upside, but I actually think the upside potential is far bigger in some of the other projects that I'm talking about today. If we come across to Jasmy, decentralized data democracy, how unsexy and unexciting does that sound? But this is an essential part of Web3 going forward. At the moment, we have a centralized internet, which is run through various cloud services, such as Google Cloud Services. There's also Amazon Web Services and various others. Every time you're interacting with your phone, with your laptop, you're going to a store, you're doing anything, you're creating data, which can then be fed back into a system and used to provide a better service for other people, but also for the companies that's using the data to become more profitable. Lots of companies will pay lots of money for that data in order to be able to improve their competition, in order to be able to improve their services they provide in the marketplace. Now, you yourself are creating that data, but what do you see in return for it? Well, you do tend to get better services, but nothing else. Now, Jasmy is slightly different. It basically gives you the opportunity to opt in and provide data back to the system, and for that you'll be rewarded with Jasmy tokens. You'll be able to decide which merchants have access to your own data. You'll be able to decide how much of the information you can share with them. You'll be able to produce data with it being completely anonymous, where people can use and benefit from having your data to provide you with better services, but without knowing who it was who actually produced that piece of information. Merchants will then pay for the data through the Jasmy platform, and you in return will receive a reward for doing so without actually having to do anything out of the ordinary from what you've been doing before. And because we're moving from a centralized internet on Web 2 through these various different cloud services, we're going to be moving across to a decentralized internet, which is going to still require these data services, and in fact, as we grow, continually going to be fed back into the system. You need a decentralized data economy moving forward into a Web3 environment. But most people probably don't realize that. And probably through the time that I've been talking about it, you probably switched off and probably thought, this is pretty boring. I wonder what's going on outside the window. And that's part of the problem. Because it's more complex to understand, it's easier for us to switch off and not really think that it's that interesting. And the same is true if we look at Internet Computer. Again, Internet Computer is the future, in my opinion, of Web3. Instead of being built onto cloud services, is building directly onto the internet through canisters, which is basically like smart contracts. This will enable for the web to run at web speed. It'll also cut out the middlemen, which are the cloud services, who on an annual basis make around $3.7 trillion from various different users. At the moment, every time I upload a video on YouTube, YouTube has the power to take away that video or completely remove my channel altogether if it so feels like it. But on Internet Computer, you're going to see fully decentralized apps, or dApps, where people are able to build different platforms similar to WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, to be able to run completely autonomously with zero middlemen involved in the whole thing. This makes for a much freer and more creative internet going forward, giving ownership back to the people. And again, if you go and delve into the depths of ICP, Jasmy and Quant, they are very difficult to understand. And if you're non-technical like me, particularly, even more difficult to understand. I don't really always like learning about these particular projects. Like many people watching this video, I'm much more excited by the likes of GALA and Hello One, but I understand what's about to happen in the market. And this is the key piece of information that you've hung on till this point in the video for. So if you have hung on to this point in the video, do me a favor, hit that like button if you didn't already at the start. Basically, right now, if we look at the Wall Street cheat sheet, which I love to do all the time, we're in like the disbelief phase, in my opinion. A lot of people are starting to believe, maybe getting a bit of hope. A lot of people still think Bitcoin's going to go down to 10K, and no one's really decided where we are right now. Bit of disbelief, right? I actually believe at this point in the market is when you get the smarter money getting in. So if you're one of the people watching this video, then congratulations, because you are probably smart money. You are doing what most people don't do who dive in at the top of bull markets. But most of us don't want to go and delve into these technical projects. We're far happy looking at GALA and Hello One and understanding projects because they're far more tangible. They're far more linked to every person's everyday experience than perhaps something like Quant or decentralized data. And since right now, in this particular phase of the market, it's like the smarter money and the average retail investors who are actually investing in markets. This is why we're seeing pumps in the likes of Hello and GALA, in my opinion. If you go into the community, if you go into that Telegram community for Hello, of which I am a member, and I'm also very happy to be a member, you will see that there's huge amounts of hype and excitement about this project. You go into one like that for ICP or Jasmy, it won't exist. It doesn't mean that it's not going to see massive growth going forward, because once we finish this phase and we start to move into the earlier phases of the bull market, the institutions will start to flow in, and that's where the real gains come from. And the institutions, while they might dip their toe into things like Hello and GALA, really they're going to be looking for game-changing technology. They have the luxury of the technical minds, they have the luxury of meeting with the producers of different projects who will explain to them in great detail what these projects are, and the venture capitalists will be able to make decisions on that. They're going to be more keen to jump into projects that are yet to pump, off the back of understanding that the software is where the real gains come from over a longer period of time. So right now, we're seeing Quant, Jasmy, ICP, many other more technical projects being very, very quiet. And there's a very big reason for that. And I hope I've just explained that to you in this video. If you want to ask more questions about it, then get into my Telegram, guys, link down below in the description. You can ask more questions. And there's various people in that group who are very knowledgeable, much more knowledgeable than myself. And they'll be able to help you understand what's really going on in the crypto markets right now. So guys, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, then subscribe, and I'll see you in the very next video. Bye-bye.